Before we start, I want to introduce Paula Baller, who Paula is with TW Perry, but she's been instrumental in getting this program up and running with MBIA. She's been very passionate about it, and I'm excited to hear her speak. So Paula, the floor is yours.
Thank you. Well, as Chris said, I'm Paula Baller, TW Perry, and I am part of the Remodelers and Custom Builder Council. We meet the third Tuesday of every month at noon. It's a quick meeting, in and out, 12 to 1. So if you'd like to join us, we'd be glad to have you. This was a topic that came up last winter, that the remodelers were all hoping to have an apprenticeship program, but to do it individually was challenging. So the state of Maryland Department of Labor came in and spoke to us, and it became apparent that if we just put all our ducks in a row, we could make this happen. And so now we are the first residential carpentry apprenticeship program in the state. We were officially approved by DLR in May. And shortly after that time, they came to us and told us that there was actually an expansion grant coming to the forefront for anyone who runs an apprenticeship program in Maryland, and they wanted us to apply. So our original goal was to have 10 apprentices and 10 companies to kind of get our feet under us so that we could figure out how to do this. But this grant, which we were awarded, is for $250,000. And so now we need 110 apprentices by January of 2022. So it's expanded us, it's challenged us, but it's also offered us a lot of opportunities. So this apprenticeship, to go back to the beginning, is a two-part apprenticeship. It's 3 years of on-the-job training, working under a journeyman. A lot of the remodelers were quick to sign up. We had 5 sign up the first month, and we have 3 that signed up this month in September. And then it's 2,000 hours per year. And we give an outline of the kind of hours that your apprentice should be getting. So 350 hours of installing a kitchen, so many hours of tiling, so many hours of framing. So they have a roadmap, because so many of the remodelers said they'd hire an apprentice and that person ended up being a laborer because nobody knew what to do with them. So we've laid out that roadmap for you to complete that apprenticeship program with your new apprentice. And then they have to complete online technical learning. And we've partnered with a company named Penn Foster, and they do this at home on their own time, 144 hours per year for 3 years. This is an easy process. They can do it, they say, mostly on their phone, and they do it in 18-minute increments. So it's a very doable situation for somebody who may be working full-time and still have a family at home. And it's open 24/7, so they can do it on the weekends, they can do it at night, whatever's going to work for them. This grant that we received will pay for the tuition their first year. So the tuition is $750 per year. We're paying for year 1, and then the employer is going to pay year 2 and 3. You do need to be a member of MBIA to participate. MBIA is the sponsor of this program. All the paperwork is running through MBIA. Carrie is our staff person that's administrating everything. So, for instance, if you're talking about somebody who is a past due member, if they join, they kind of getting their money back because the tuition is going to be paid for. So it's a break-even kind of thing for them, hopefully. At the end of this, they receive a nationally recognized completion of apprenticeship for that's recognized by the state, issued by the state of Maryland, but recognized nationally. But Department of Labor and Penn Foster tell us that the retention rate on somebody who graduates from this program is over 90%. So there's a huge incentive to train these people, and hopefully in 3 or 4 years, they will become the trainers of the next generation. So it'll pay it forward. The grant also has money in it to help with some startup safety equipment and tools. We have a boot stipend. We have a tools stipend. We will do some additional training, for instance, OSHA 10, first aid. Somebody asked about doing a lead certifications. I'm looking into that right now. So it's a really well-rounded program. We're so excited to have it. It's really going to change the industry, and MBIA is going to be able to say we were the ones that did this. So that's kind of a quick overview. There's also some tax incentives for anybody that participates. You can write off some off of your income tax, $3,000 a year per apprentice. I'm trying to think if I've covered everything. As I said, our goal right now, Carrie and I have said, is 5 apprentices per month for the next 18 months. So we do need your help. If you're not in a position to hire an apprentice, please tell somebody. And if you know somebody who wants to be an apprentice, sign them up with our program and we'll try and find them a placement. We actually have 2 spots open right now, one in Anne Arundel County and one in Baltimore. So make this interactive. Somebody have a question, discussion, idea, because this is a very fluid program also. As your apprentice is going through, if you find out, why are we spending so much time doing hours OJT here when we really should be doing them here, we are all ready to flex with that.
So Paula, I can, Chris put the website, marylandapprentice.org. This is, you know, pretty basic at this point. You will see this website grow over the next couple of months to have resources for people interested in the program and those who actually sign up. So I'm going to share my screen real quick and just show you guys this website. So the really cool thing about this is, you know, Jude, you and I were kind of emailing back and forth with questions and stuff. Anyone who really wants to have an understanding of this program, you can, and actually I'm glad Kristen's on here and Paula, because is it under hire? Yeah. Under the hire an apprentice tab, and I'm having internet issues today, so I'm not sure. There. We have, where's the website, the webinar, Kristen? I know it's here.
I know it's on the landing page for the MBIA.
Oh, there it is.
Okay.
Yes. It's okay. Yeah. So yes, it's also, you can find it on MBIA, but you can also find it here. This webinar, if you just are driving in the car, Jude, and you know, have you watched it again, Jude? Yeah.
Not lately. Yeah.
Not lately, because you know, you can drive in the car and listen to this and kind of understand the program if you are going to be talking about it. I mean, I had to do it a couple times myself, but this website, you know, is a place that you can drive anybody to research and get more information themselves if they're interested. And then obviously they would reach out to us.
So it sounds like with the tiling and the kitchen work, it's more than just carpentry. Do those count as different skills? Is it meant to be more of a broad overall construction program than just carpentry?
It is. It's based on the remodeler, what the remodelers do all the time. So they were kind of our resource. There was no original outline, so they gave us what they had and we scratched and scribbled on it and made it into something that was realistic and what the remodelers felt like they are doing every day. 2,000 hours a year, 6,000 hours total. We broke it up in different components. There's a little bit on metal framing. There's a little bit on framing for concrete. We really tried to give them a very broad background there, and then laying floor, finishing, trim work, all of that has hours assigned to it. And then the technical study starts off with career readiness. So the first 20 hours of classwork they do online is how to talk to a customer, what's going to make you successful, show up for work, be on time, follow directions, how to send a proper text, a business type text. Matter of fact, somebody just told me that their apprentice must have made it through that part right now because he was calling out for work or had a flat tire or something. He said the text was very specific and very professional. So we know it works already with the first round. And it ends with, in the third year, they start to introduce CAD and estimating. So it's really covering everything from soup to nuts, terminology, tool safety, tool usage. There's a lot of terminology in our industry. If you're coming in from nowhere and you don't know what a fascia board is, or people start throwing terms out, it's intimidating if you're on a job site. So this online training will help them get accustomed to all of that.
You know, I suppose that anybody, any age could sign up for this program, but the ones that have signed up so far, are they typically, you know, younger, younger, I guess I say kids, but really young adults? Are they, getting out of high school? Or are they, I mean, how is that going?
We
The
have
demographic of these
people
guys?
that have, that were college age. I know at least one of them has transitioned out of college. Some of them are in their late 20s. They were actually laborers or somebody in the company already who showed promise, and so they have put them into this program. We can take a high school student even. Our program's written so that their on-the-job hours are less. But as we looked at this in May and schools were closed, I wanted to be able to react to students that would go back online and maybe not be in a traditional education. So we have the program written so that that can even happen. But I would say everybody's probably between 19 and 30. I haven't really kept track of it, but.
Okay, thanks.
And women, we'd love to have women. Any other?
Yep, and that's actually something we have to keep track of and report every month to the state is all those demographic items. So age, race, disabilities, if they were a veteran. We love veterans too.
Right, absolutely. Anybody else?
Speaking of veterans, have you done any outreach with veteran transition programs at any of the bases in Maryland?
I reached out to the veterans program in Annapolis, and that was very unsuccessful. After getting transferred around a bunch of times, somebody was going to call me back, and that didn't happen. So maybe something more grassroots and not going through the government might be better suited for us. Yeah,
Okay.
absolutely. Everybody would like to hire a vet, and the tax benefits are stronger when you hire a veteran. So there's some additional tax incentive for the business. Well, it's exciting. Like I said, we need 110. So we just need people to start talking it up. I think we're 8 into it at this point. We're going to need 50, probably 50 companies if we're on this small scale that we're on right now with everybody taking 1 or 2, maybe 60 companies. So it's a big goal, but it's something everybody told us that they wanted. Everybody's been talking about it as long as I've been in MBIA. I think 6 or 7 years I've been in MBIA. And Lori will tell you that she's heard about it since she's been in the industry. So it's here and now. We just need everybody to jump on board. And the onboarding process takes longer than I expected. So if you know somebody is interested, start talking to them now, because for them to pull the trigger and make a decision and find that apprentice, we're finding it's taking more than a month, sometimes 2.
Can firms who are based in DC access the program since we have members there?
That's a good question. If we have any, I'll need to find out. It's a federally funded grant, but the grant is run through the state of Maryland DLR. So I don't know if they have an
Probably
adjustment,
Maryland.
see if it's going to affect that. Yeah, need to find out. And I'm happy to talk to anybody. They call me all the time and asked about the program, and I'm happy to walk them through it. And Drew, who is our contact at Penn Foster, gets on the phone with everybody and walks them through. The employer has access to how the apprentice is managing through the program, so that you see their grades, you see how much they've completed. They have staff people there that are ready to help with support. And I think once we get this program up a little bit bigger, we will probably have a mentor program also, or what I would like to call a coach program. I know at least one other member who came and said they would be happy to be a coach. So if your apprentice is not progressing through that program, you don't have to be the one to call them. We can have a coach call them and see, somebody from the industry, and see how they're doing and where their hangups are. So.
And Paula, I was just going to suggest, if you or Carrie want to join, tomorrow morning, we have another exhibitor doing a virtual booth. It's Norboard, and they actually have a pretty cool campaign of Become a Framer. And so they've been doing it since 2017. I don't know if the person on the call will be as active with that, but it might be a partnership that could potentially come to something. I'll put something in the text or the chat.
Yeah,
so you
that'd be
can see.
great. I'd be happy to.
Anyone else have any thoughts, comments, questions? Well, Paula, thank you so much. We really appreciate it. And thanks, Carrie, for sharing your screen. And everyone have a great day.
Thank you. Bye. Thanks for coming.
Thanks, Paul.
Thanks, everyone. Thanks, Paula.